Oh, hello everybody. I just did some calculations and P.S. I think this show is about to get a 10 out of 10 if we keep doing this on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's a lot of damage. I'm your host, Mythic Cell. Welcome back to the stupidest daytime slash nighttime podcast ever, happening on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 p.m. or a.m. You never know, okay? So 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. is when these are going to release. And also I'm going to do a special one on Saturday. I've decided it. Stupid politics. Okay, so in Canada, the situation with the coronavirus is kind of sort of like stabilized, but don't quite know about the US. US politics, lower testing, politics in Canada. You're supposed to wear a mask. Now, as we all know, quarantine has forced us to do some stupid stuff, but the stupidest stuff I've done so far is I've joined this clique, this French clique. We call ourselves the Legion, and here's what we always say: "Where's my baguette? Do you have my baguette, senor?" No, I don't have your baguette. So yep, me and the stupid boys, we're back together. We're doing stupid stuff all over again. So online school is over, which thank the Lord could not have lasted any longer. I mean, come on, I'm sick and tired of Zoom and Microsoft Teams. It's the most annoying thing. Like, you log on to a class, and the teachers are just sitting there. Like, most of the times, either my teachers are not there at all, and we have to wait another, 20 minutes for them, and just before class is over, they'll join, and they'll waste our time by doing this really long class, and then we're gonna have to move up to the next class, and the teachers are gonna be, "Why are you late? Why are you late?" And we're like, we had another teacher lecture. We had another teacher lecture us. Get it? Like, they always lecture us. So I accidentally turned on my camera, and it kind of looked like this. Yep, I'm totally fine. Don't care about a single thing in the universe. So the teacher caught me, and she sent me to a special class on Microsoft Teams, and she called it detention. I mean, it wasn't really detention because I could just leave anytime. So I opened my mom's laptop. I took out my headset, so there was no microphone or no camera, and I turned it on. And the teachers, I had to. They thought I was there. I was listening to them lecturing me. Meanwhile, I was just sitting there and I was watching Kairos Time, watching my favorite dude, KT. Now I think that since Corona has started, we've had our set of changing currencies other than money, of course. I think at first we had toilet paper, then we had masks and PPE, then we had plexiglass, and now we have, well, I don't know. We're kind of back in business in Canada. I'm kind of sort of brain dead at that point. Like I kind of sort of died right there. So yeah, just ignore that last part. Perfection. Looks like today is calling for a 10 a.m. broadcast. Let's do it. The stupidest podcast ever, going live at 10 a.m. today, and it's currently 9:25, so not a lot of time to record, as you can tell. So when teachers used to call for online school, I used to call my mom so she could get me some cake. 10 out of 10 priorities, buddy. 10 out of 10. That's how you get your priorities straight. Always ask for what you want. And it's just like screw online school. Like in Canada, like in the US, sure they do stuff over there, but in Canada, here's all that the teachers did. You ready for it? Nothing. They just made us return all their notebooks today. So gotta return these in like an hour or two. So yeah, yet again, priority set straight. We're doing fine here. And well, it's 9:25, so 9:25 I'm normally either completely brain dead and I'm playing on my phone, or I'm turning on the computer right now and I'm playing some Fortnite. Don't call me a cranker. So my parents asked me if we had any homework. And look what I had to do. Blam, 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 blam. That's 14 pages of work. I'll do for the next day. So I turned it in already. No worries. School's over. Like, I'm happy that school's over, but I'm also really, really not hyper because, once school is over, teachers are just gonna scream at us more. I mean, they get mad because in quarantine we did all kinds of stupid stuff. And then when school started back up, we acted like total idiots. We trolled the teachers several times, to say the least. We might some kids might or might not have kicked out the teacher out of the classroom, which that happens on Teams. That, of course, that's gonna happen. I mean, when somebody starts up a meeting, like, we're just so stupid. Like, when we start up a meeting, we're always like, I see no God except for me. I see no God up here except for me. And so when a teacher joins in, she's like, hello, and then everybody says hello. So there's the one kid that has power over everybody. He's gonna just, boom, you're done. Like, he's gonna shut off everything. Like, he's gonna shut off the microphones. Like, he's gonna mute everybody, and we won't stop on muting each other. And then when we complain about it, he would just kick us out of the meeting. So we would just be like, hey, what's the point of even being here? And, like, we're just like, nah, no thank you. Like, we don't want to do this. So, parents have been, some parents haven't been able to work as much. But, since that, like, my parents are still working, but before quarantine started, I asked them if I could get some money if I did some chores. And they said, sure. They gave me $20 a week. And it was for a new PC. But that dream's out of the way because, I got a RAM card and my PC's working perfectly fine. And here's the stash that I ended up with. Just a second, everybody. Yep. That's like something like $300, I think. Yeah, I made something like $300. So, yep. And some stores don't accept cash, so rip the dream of spending that money right now. But that's coming up. Won't take long now won't be long until they open the shops again. And I've been a bit tired of quarantine lately, but, so long as I make these stupid videos talking about, quarantine and stuff, I'm fine. I'm fine so long as I sit in front of the camera, I keep a stupid face, I'm fine. Okay, that was a stupid face I was supposed to be making. So, now further ado, let's get into something else. Now, of course, with online school, we didn't get any finals. So you know what that means, right? So we didn't get finals, and so since we didn't get finals, I think everybody's IQ just got sliced in half because that was the time where we had to prove ourselves, right? And that part got canceled. So yeah. So the other day I go over to Starbucks and here's what I see. I see this toddler with her mother, and the toddler says, "Get me a frappuccino," and I'm like, "What the hell? Like, how can a kid drink a frappuccino?" So the kid is like, "Get me a frappuccino," and the mother goes over to the cash, and she says, "1 frappuccino, please," and they ask her caffeine or no caffeine, and she says 99% caffeine, and I'm like, this kid's gonna have a stroke before he's even 4. Like, it was obviously a 3-year-old, like, and he was just asking for frappuccinos, and then I was like, I'm sorry, what? How can a kid drink something like, and she got the largest frappuccino, and the large frappuccino is like, wait, this is an example. Like, you see this jar? It's about as big as that, except a little bit, like, till over here, from over here to the tip top. And it's crazy, like, this kid, I saw this kid going away, like I was in line to get a small frappuccino with no caffeine, and this kid grabbed his huge frappuccino, which is basically sugar and marshmallows and a little bit of caffeine. He grabbed his caffeine explosion, and he started to chug the thing like he chugged half the cup in like 15 seconds. Like, I was like, Jesus Christ, do we have pterodactyls for kids? Like, this kid, no joke, chugged the coffee almost instantly. Like, he was just done. Like, he wasn't having any of it. Like, his mom was like, do you really need that caffeine? He started throwing a tantrum as well. And he was like, and she tried to take it away from him, and she was like, bro, do you really need that sugar? Reaching over to grab the coffee, and the kid smacks her hand with the coffee. So it, like, there's an ice burn because apparently, like, he stuck it on there. Like, he actually, like, he slapped her hand, but he kept it on there. and her skin got ice burn. So she took his frappuccino and she chucked it in the trash can, and he got grounded. I have and these kids were regulars at Starbucks. Like, that kid was always there. Like, he was always in line. Every single time I would go, he would be in line for a frappuccino that is full of caffeine. And so the kid was never heard of again. So he kicked up, and he fell to the ground just like any average toddler having a tantrum, and he started to kick away. Like, he started to go to stores. Like, he went through the exit lines. So we have the Source, that's like an electronics store in Canada. So he went over to the Source and he started to knock down electronics, including a 54-inch 4K UHD TV. That thing fell with a shatter. And when I say a shatter, I mean it zapped out of existence. Like, it was still plugged in, just as an example, and it fell to the floor with a smash. Like, the kid broke the actual television. And the mother comes in and she tries to grab him, but like, as she grabs him, she's contesting with the employees who are telling her, you have to pay for that TV. I don't care what you say, you have to pay for it, you're not getting out of here. And so the security guard, like, there's a security guard about 5 meters off of there. So the security guard runs over to the Source and he closes it down. Like, we're in Mega Mall here. Like, I'm talking about Mega Mall. So we're on the second floor. The Source is completely closed down, and I can hear shrieks, screams, and I can hear yelling. I can hear "Get me the manager." I can hear all the kids throwing a tantrum, Karens being Karens. Like, it was crazy, and the television was shattered. Like, they had to pay for it, and it was something in the range of $1,200. It was somewhere around that price, and that's absurd. That's an absurd price. And these guys had like they said that they already had a 58-inch 4K UHD TV, so they could just, give it back. And like, it was worth $1,400, so they were gonna give it back to them, and they were gonna get the extra money back. So I was like, okay, she's trying to compromise for money. Nothing too bad. But you know what? Since that, they did not want another TV, they said, no, you're going to have to pay with your card, or you're going to have to pay cash right here. You're not getting out of here until we do so. So I was getting my Frappuccino at the time, and I was facing the Source. So I got my Frappuccino, and I went down to like ground level, and I went below ground level at Mega Mall, and I started looking for an EB Games store. And I could hear the commotion, like, as I'm coming down, I can hear the commotion in there. Like, they're screaming. There's a toddler screaming for his Frappuccino. Like, it was crazy. And the freakouts just kept coming. Like, it was psycho. Like, we had one security guard on one side. He's trying to hold the toddler back because he's being dangerous. Like, they don't want him to knock down yet another, they don't want him to knock over anything else. The mother is contesting with the employees at the Source. Like, she's just like, we're not paying for a 54-inch TV. We already have a 58-inch one. Then they go like, it's broken. Like, I can hear them. Like, they're talking so loud. They're like, it's broken. You have to pay for it, man. And, I try to tune them out. Like, I put on I put on my headphones like this. Oops, wrong way. I put them like this. Like, I literally, like, I stick them as hard as I can in my ears, and I turn up the volume to the max, and I can't hear them anymore. So I'm like, okay, good. So I walked a couple dozen meters to, EB Games, and I started looking around, and then I can see two familiar faces coming down from the elevator, and they get off the elevator and they start walking. The toddler is wailing like a banshee. The mother is dragging him on the floor. Like, she is, no joke, not having any of it. She's dragging the toddler on the floor while he's throwing this huge fit. And the exit is facing EB Games, so I can see them coming out. So the kid is still wailing like a banshee. And then when they get out, like everybody's just looking at the exit. Like, they don't know what to look at. Even the employees of EB Games, they were just like, they got out of the store and they were just looking straight at the exit. And I could see the mother just dragging the kid by his hand. Like, she was not having any more of that kind of stuff. And that was the last we ever saw of her and him and that kid that drank that huge frappuccino. I don't want to know what happened next, but I think I might have I don't know what happened next, but I think I might have an idea. I think that the toddler must have kicked up some more because, that's a lot of caffeine. Like, it's a tub of caffeine. Like, a kid's probably going to get overloaded by that. Like, he's going to get loaded with caffeine by that. And the kid started to freak out. Like, he must have probably started to have a huge constipation fit right in the car. So he must have freaked out or something. I don't know, but I went yesterday. I went to Mega Mall again, and I did not see that kid. Like, I went at the exact same time, and I stayed there for a couple of minutes because I was waiting for my coffee, and I did not see that kid. So, rest in peace, that 3-year-old toddler who had way too much Frappuccino. And for those of you guys who don't know what Frappuccino is, it's basically this really sugar-toxic drink. It's like a layered drink with chocolate at the bottom, caffeine like a little bit above, vanilla and marshmallows in the middle, and on top it's whipped cream, and it's really, really good. But if you have way too much caffeine, it's just a tub of caffeine at this point. Like, it's just like you're just drinking coffee, like nothing else, and it's disgusting because if it's just caffeine, it's disgusting because it's way too deep, it's way too strong. So for sure this kid was gonna have a fit. Like, what did we expect? Like, the kid was just throwing tantrums non-stop. And, on the way out the door, they, the security guard was, I forgot to mention that the security guard was, 5 feet behind. And he was, escorting them out of the exit, like getting them to their cars and everything. And so they were gone. The family were gone, so everybody was just like, what happened? Like, some people who were on the top floor they were just like, yeah, we know what happened. We're well aware of what happened. And, I said Delaware. Don't judge me. I was like, let's just not talk about it. So I go back in the store and, I just start looking around for stuff. Like, I can't find anything that I want. So I leave the store and, when I get out of there, I see another toddler. This time it was like a 4-year-old or something. He was throwing another fit. Like, it was a kid just throwing a normal fit. Like, he was just crying on the ground. Like, he was in the middle of the road. Like, in the parking, we have like this kind of sort of like, we have this like a U-shaped kind of like parking road, like where people like they go around so they can park. And so the kid was smack dab in the center of that. And he was crying because, he wanted to have a candy bar, and his mom said no. And so I started going back up the street, back to my house, back home. And I'm like, why are these kids so angry? Like, there's so many toddlers throwing fits today. Like, it's crazy. And so it's just like these crazy fits, like where they're on the floor, they're screaming, like where they're on the ground, they're screaming like crazy. They're like, give me that bar, give me this, give me that. Like, and it was crazy. Like, the fits were just getting worse and worse. And, I actually, basically after seeing that, I ran home because I was just so annoyed. Like, I could not hear any more screaming. So I grabbed my earbuds and everything. I shoved them in my ears. I crossed the road just before shoving them in my ears. And I ran the rest of the way home because I could not run into another toddler with his mother because I know what could have come out of that one. All right, like that would not have been pretty. And I did encounter like this 12-year-old that I knew back from school, like this 12-year-old from school, and we had a bunch of fun. Like we talked again, like back and forth, and I told him all about it, and he was like, "Bro, you should make a video on this." So here I am making a video on toddlers throwing tantrums. So hilarious, and as we speak, it is just like crazy, like. These kids are just throwing these crazy tantrums, and I happen to see this more and more often. Like, it's not just at Mega Mall. I see this in, like, every store I go to. Like, at Costco one time, I saw this kid that was, like, just throwing a tantrum because he wanted, like, this box of chocolates. But that's enough of me talking about kids throwing tantrums. This is the end of day 2 of this podcast. I will see you guys soon. Bye bye.